welcome to another video tutorial of GRE Quant. In this video tutorial, we are going to be discussing about ratios. Now, there aren't many rules regarding ratios, and therefore our focus is going to be on the questions based on ratios. So let us begin with our today's lesson. Let us start our lesson with the definition of ratios. Now, a ratio is a comparison of two or more quantities. For example, when a chef is baking a cake, he or she always has to put things in a proportion, like 1 cup of butter to 2 cups of sugar, or 3 cups of sugar to 3 eggs or 4 eggs. So everything is done in a proportion. And this can be explained by an example that at a certain school, the ratio of boys to girls is 2 to 5, which means there are 2 boys for every 5 girls. And it can be written as 2 to 5, 2 ratio 5, or 2 or 5, right? And the ratio questions basically revolve around the statements like for every x there is or there are y that, right? Now, most ratio questions fall into 2 categories, that is equivalent ratios and portioning. So let us discuss these 2 categories in detail. Now, equivalent ratios are created by multiplying or dividing 2 or more terms by the same value. This can further be explained by a few examples, like the ratio 1 to 2 is equal to 4 to 8, because if 1 to 2 is multiplied by 4, we get 4 to 8, right? And if we divide 4 ratio 8 by 4, like both the terms by 4, we're going to get 1 to 2. Similarly, 2 over 9 is equal to 4 over 18, because if 2 and 9 are multiplied by 2, we get 4 over 18. Same goes for 3 ratio 7. If it is multiplied by 6, we get 18 ratio 42. Okay, now we have an example, a very easy example, which is 2 ratio 3 is equal to 8 ratio x, and we're supposed to find the value of x. So how do we do it? How do we find the value of x? We simply write the equation in fraction form, that is 2 over 3 is equal to 8 over x. We cross multiply. If we cross multiply, we get 2x is equal to 24, and we get 12 as the value of x. So if we put it in place of x, we get, what we're going to do is, if we want to check that our equation is correct or not, see, if we multiply 2 ratio 3 by 4, we're going to get 8 ratio 12, right? 2 into 4 is 8, and 3 into 4 is 12. So our answer is right? The value of x is 12. Okay, we have another example with the same format, only the values have been changed. We have 5 ratio 7 is equal to 10 ratio x now. We're simply going to follow the same steps. We're going to write this equation down in fraction form, and we get 5 over 7 is equal to 10 over x, and then the value of x is going to be 14. And if we multiply 5 ratio 7 with 2, we're going to get the same ratio, that is 10 ratio 14, right? Okay, we have a question now. It says that at a certain zoo, the ratio of crocodiles to the number of parrots is 7 to 2. So 7 crocodiles to 2 parrots, right? If there are 28 parrots, how many crocodiles are there? Right? Very easy question. So for every 7 crocodiles, there are 2 parrots. So we're going to write down this equation in the, we're going to write down the statement in equation form, just like, you know, we did in the examples. We had the equation with us, and we solved the question. Here we have a statement, and we're going to convert it into an equation. So crocodile to parrots is equal to 7 ratio 2. And we do not have the value of crocodile. We're going to find it out. Let's suppose it is equal to x, right? And we have the value of parrots, which is 28, and this is equal to 7:2. So in fraction form, we're going to get crocodile over 28 is equal to 7/2. So 2 crocodiles is equal to 196. So the number of crocodiles is 98 and the number of parrots is 28. So the ratio between crocodiles and parrots is 98 to 28, right? Okay, let's move on to another slide. We will now be discussing about portioning into ratios with the help of a few questions. Our first question says that Jane has 15 cookies which he will give to Grace and Debbie in 2:1 ratio. That means if Grace has 2 cookies, Debbie will have 1. But our total number of cookies is 15. So how many cookies does each person receive? Now let us convert this statement into an equation. If Grace is G and Debbie is D, then our equation would be G ratio D is equal to 2:1, which means 2x is equal to 1x. Now the reason why we have multiplied x with 2 and 1 is that we do not know the value of x, and through the value of x we're going to get to know how many cookies did Grace or Debbie receive, right? So we're going to add up the ratio. 2x plus x is equal to 15, which gives us the value of x as 5. And so if we multiply 2 with the value of x, that is 5, we're going to get 10 cookies for Grace. And if we multiply 1 with the value of x, that is 5, we're going to get the number of cookies for Debbie as 5. So Grace is going to get 10 and Debbie is going to get 5 cookies. And if we add up 10 and 5, we're going to get 15. That is the total number of cookies, right? 15 is the total number of cookies that is divided between Grace and Debbie in the ratio 2:1, which is like 10 cookies Grace and 5 cookies for Debbie, right? So we basically add the terms in the ratio and we solve the question, right? Step by step. Okay, another question on portioning says that in a certain nut mix, the ratio of pistachios to walnuts to almonds is 5:2:1 by weight. How many pounds of walnuts are in 56 pounds of nut mix? So our total is 56 pounds, out of which 5 portions are of pistachios, 2 of walnuts and 1 of almonds, right? So if we denote pistachios by P, walnuts by W and almonds by A, our equation would be something like P ratio W ratio A is equal to 5:2:1, right? So if we add up these terms, we're going to get 8. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 8, right? And this shows that for every 5 pounds of pistachios, we have 2 pounds of walnuts and 1 pound of almonds, right? Now, if we multiply x with all the ratios, we're going to get 8x, right? And 8x is equal to 56, right? That is the total. We do not know the value of x right now, and in order to get the value of x, we have put it in an equation that is 8x is equal to 56. So x is equal to 7. And if we multiply 7 with each one of the ratios, we're going to get the total, that is 56 pounds, right? So if 5, that is the ratio of pistachios, is multiplied by 7, we get 35. If 2 is multiplied by 7, we get 14. And if 1 is multiplied by 7, we get 7, right? So the question is asking us about the question is asking us about walnuts, right? Only about the walnuts. So our answer would be 14, because 2 into 7 is equal to 14, and that means that we have 14 pounds of walnuts in 56 pounds of nutmegs, right? With this, we come to the end of our first lesson on ratios. I hope you've understood the topic well. In the upcoming videos, we are going to be discussing ratios in more detail. So please stay tuned to this channel. Be positive, keep your spirits high, and goodbye for now. Thank you.